Greetings everyone, a warm welcome to you. Hey, thanks for joining me from wherever you are watching this around the world. Gemini, this is your November 2020 tarot reading. Hey, welcome to any new subscribers to the channel. It's lovely to have you here as part of Team Celestial. That's what we all are, part of a community that gets together and enjoys hearing cosmic messages. So we're rattling on into November, nearly toward the end of 2020. I, for one, probably think that's a good thing, although I'm not sure yet what 2021 is going to deliver for us. I haven't been able to tap into that properly, so I'm looking forward to finding a little bit more out about that, and hopefully I'll be able to produce something in the next few weeks for the channel on that. Anyhow, coming back to November, we have a lot going on. So it's the beginning of the last lot of eclipse season for 2020. We have one on the 30th of November. It is a full moon and a lunar eclipse in your sign, Gemini. So I think you're going to find that you guys could be quite busy. It could affect you in many different ways. These eclipses this year have been full on and have created a lot of convoluted, I think you could say, movement amongst us all here collectively on the globe. We also have Mercury stationing direct on the 3rd of November. We have two powerful portal days, the 11/11 and then the 1st of the 11 as well on the very 1st of November. We have a Friday the 13th, which is quite a powerful portal day. We also have Mars stationing direct that day. The second eclipse we have attached to the one that's going to be quite significant for you guys is on December the 14th in Sagittarius, and that's a solar eclipse. So that's the partner to the one in November. And I think you'll find that they will also be quite powerful in the perturbations that they're bringing into the planet. We also have Halloween Day on the 31st of October, sort of broaching that 1st of November day, and that's also a very powerful day. It's a blue moon that day, so the moons are going to be really, really important in terms of energy that they're giving out to us all. Before we start with your reading, I've done some intuitive work for you, and these were the messages it says feminine energy will be high, even if you're a male. And it said females will play an important role in November. Also groups will play a role. Also the sacral chakra. So being creative, I think, could be quite relative for you Geminis. And possibly things like fertility. So this could be fertility of ideas or conception of ideas or even pregnancies. And it says gentleness will benefit you. Love may be on your mind. And you guys actually got given the portal energy of 4444 as well. So I think you could be in for a lot of potential portal movements or activations or timeline energy things going on. And I mentioned that yesterday when I did the Pisces reading, that I've noticed a lot of time anomalies myself recently. This was the weirdest situation. Every single clock in my home had a different time, including my car clock and my watch. And I actually ended up being a whole hour out because I couldn't figure out what the time was in the day. And I felt as though I had an extra hour to spare, so it was all very odd. You might experience some issues along these lines as well, and it would be really interesting to hear your comments if that is the case. So anyhow, let's start with your reading. We are using these cards primarily, I suppose. This is the John Holland Psychic Tarot deck. I love working with this deck. It's very expansive in its meanings and the energy that it pulls when it delivers the cards. So this is for Gemini for November 2020. The first card out is the solar plexus chakra. And I mentioned the sacral chakra as one of your early messages, but let's see what else is coming. 3 and a 5. That is the 5. Oh goodness, that is the 5 of Pentacles, which isn't the most exciting card, but some have fallen on the ground. I'm just going to retract them. I get the feeling there's a lot of talking going on because even right at the moment, these cards are jumping out really fast. I haven't even had time to shuffle them properly. These ones all landed on the ground. I haven't looked at them, but this one was face up. So it makes sense to me that there would be talking going on in your world, because Gemini, you guys are the talkers. You know, you're that air sign talkative energy. But we'll put these out and then we'll deal with what messages are coming. I'm going to show them all first and then go back and decide what they're actually saying. I'm seeing these two hands here together. What they're representing at this point in time, I'm unsure. But let's see what these other three are. Balance, number 11. Foundation and achievements, that's the Four of Wands, and another major arcana, the Destiny card, which is the Wheel of Fortune. So in essence, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcanas that have come out of the 6 cards. So that's quite a high percentage in terms of feeling as though evolution is changing or things are moving. And evolution changing is primarily this card here, the Destiny or the Wheel of Fortune card. It's a very powerful one and it doesn't show up often. So when it comes out, it is a definite indicator of something big going on in the galactic engine room of life, and it's turning the wheels of change. So there's no doubt that things are going to be changing for you, but often this is a slow change that's coming in. So it can be a very lengthy process, and it might be something that you begin to notice now, or you feel the flutterings of change in the background. It could be something that has been evolving already for quite some months, and it is coming to more of a heightened awareness now, or moving into a next level of noticeable change. When we look at this balance card over here, this is often associated with Libran energy. So it might be a Libran person who is playing a role in your life, another air sign type energy, or it could be indicating balance within your own life. Now this is also the card of karma. Interestingly enough, 2020 has been what I would call the karmic year of the century. And I think we'll still see some of this karmic energy moving itself out through 2021. But this year has been a portal of doors opening that have allowed the accumulation of karmic debts through past life experiences to be either forgiven or merged or have lesser potency. So we've seen the ability this year to, it's like, I don't know, it's like you've been in school and you've done homework and the teacher's assessing it all and ticking it off. Did you get an A, B, C or D? And if you got an A in some of the things that you've been doing around karmic debts that might have been in your life, then you've passed the exam and you're allowed to go on to the next grade and, you know, progress through your education. Primarily, this is what it's all about. And that joins with this card over here, the Destiny card. Now, given that this card is in the middle, this foundation and achievements, which is all about home, families, relationships, stability. It can also be about your jobs, your careers, your income, your soul tribe, your base chakra. I feel that these could be talking here around some area, almost as if saying that some of you have had like a karmic debt that may have been involving family members one way or another, or family relationships, or your home or your career, or some sort of relationship connections that may be now evolving on through the natural attrition of the cycle of life. And there is the circle, or the circle of life, if you like, and the two circles being completed. There might be at this point some understanding or awareness that you're comprehending about events that have been taking place, and you might be going, wow, you know, it's really weird. I've reconnected with such and such and I hadn't spoken to them for the last 20 years because we had a fallout, but we're reconnecting. Or there might be something about your health, which could be this card up here and also connected to this one, and you say, oh, it's really strange. I suddenly feel as if I'm turning the corner in an aspect of my life where I understand about my health and how to make it better, or how to live through it, or how it feels as though it's becoming less of an issue for me. There's a whole lot of different scenarios around this concept of the karmic doors that have been opened this year, and it's been something that hasn't happened for us like this before. So my understanding is that so many people on the planet are going to experience this change at differing levels. Some will be palpably obvious and others will be much more subtle, and you may not notice it for a few years. But there's been a big wheel turning, like that song, big wheels turning. There's something very big in this reading in terms of these two cards, the 10 and 11, that are providing some subtle energy field in the background that I think is giving you a degree of freedom and change and new direction coming in. And I do think it has been an ongoing process that has been around for some time. And it probably won't necessarily finish straight away. It will continue to evolve and take you into the next year, but possibly even the next 10 years of evolution as things begin to take shape and mutate in many ways into a new direction and a new solid form for you. This card can also mean that you might be attending law things or legal processes, sometimes family court hearings, sometimes going to a law case. Sometimes this card can turn up when a divorce proceedings is in place or a family is separating. But there's a lot going on in this reading that doesn't talk about families separating, but rather talks about the blended harmony of love and commitment and the strength and character that brings to us and gives us support and nurture. These two in particular, the harmony and the foundations and achievements. These three, the 11, the 5 and the 10, are kind of more stuck together in a triangle, if you like, that could very well be connected. The only one I can't necessarily connect here is the solar plexus chakra, but that might come. So this could be the indicator of a separation or a divorce or a legal proceedings or a legal document that's being signed, a contract that's coming in. It might be that it is taking shape and giving you new direction in the future, forming your new destiny. It could be have to do with a separation that has been in the past, or people that you are moving away from, or that you have felt that you have been left out of the group one way or another. You might have been isolated from a family, you might have been, like blacklisted for some reason, or been left out of the circle. And these three things could somehow play a role, that if you were left out or disassociated or have felt as though you've been excommunicated one way or another, this might be coming to an end because it's a karmic solution or a karmic evolution that's taken place. It would generally bode well in your favour because that's what this card references, and that it's the cycle of evolution and destiny as this whole event takes place and leads you into a new spectre of life. The Harmony card is the Lovers card, so it can represent lovers coming in, it can represent beautiful, committed, deep partnerships, and this can be partnerships in business as well as love or family love unions. It can be a very strong bond that someone has your back and that you have their back. It can be the growing glow of love that is beginning to flourish between two people. It doesn't have to be the intimate people. It could be deep friendships, or it could be family members that are coming back together again and reconnecting a love bond. For some of you, this is the potentiality for a new love partner that you might meet in this month of November, but possibly even longer. It extends itself out to me. It's not just a short-term card for some reason. There is also the possibility that there is a choice to be made around your love life or love relationships. Sometimes you might be involved in a triad, like a threesome. You might have met someone who's already partnered up with another person, or you might already be partnered with someone and you've suddenly met this love of your life. There are those possibilities as well when that card comes in. And given that it's actually attached to this card up here, the Five of Pentacles, this can reference, occasionally it can reference a separation of a love relationship, and oftentimes when a female leaves a male partner and for another person sometimes. So there are a few different messages in play here, but there's a lot about love, balance, karma coming back, like your karmic cycle of life playing out and being pertinent and positive as you move forward. The solar plexus one that we haven't discussed yet is very much about regaining your strength and tuning into your gut instincts as well, and listening to that psychic side of life and having faith in it. It's also a possibility that some of you need to strengthen this part of your body or your being, either in the physical realm, so that you need to do physical exercises and strengthen the core part of the body. And a perfect example of that is this card, and it's in this area here of the body to strengthen it up and get it looking a bit like his. Wouldn't that be wonderful if we all had perfect bodies? But anyhow, you can do it by not necessarily looking like this, but you can strengthen your own solar plexus through sit-ups, through planking, through walking, through lots of different yoga poses that offer strengthening of the core as well. You can also eat yellow foods, wear yellow colours, and meditate with music that vibrates the yellow frequency or the solar plexus frequency. So that's if you've had a blockage in that area. And if you have had a blockage, you might feel as though your power has been diminished somewhat, and it could be because of situations or people who have been in your life. And it could be that it's been some karmic situation, or it's been relationships that have been a little bit off, or even monetary issues that have drained your tenacity or your strength as well. Remember I said a while ago there was going to be a lot of talking in this reading? Wow, I wasn't wrong. Heaps of talking. A little bit of emotional withdrawal there as well, and that kind of could make sense when we see this Five of Pentacles, and even with the Balance card sometimes talks about emotions being involved. And when we have emotional withdrawal, which is the Eight of Cups, he is doing the exact right thing. He's gone into some place of silence in a beautiful part of nature, and he's meditating, which we've just talked about, meditating to regain your strength. So if any of you have felt as though you have emotionally withdrawn from something, which is also what this card can mean, whether it was because of a relationship issue or financial or a health issue, and sometimes this means getting a cold or a flu or even breaking a bone, needing remedial work to have it fixed. But sometimes when we have something that feels a bit draining, spending time alone in meditation and being at one with nature is one of the best ways of bringing back balance into our mind, body and soul. And you have the balance here, and it talks about bringing that back in for yourself. So the emotional withdrawal can often mean that you feel a relationship has been unbalanced around you. And again, this could be any relationship. Who knows, whether it's a close personal intimate one, or whether it's more of a family or community or career related one. Oh, okay, so these are the last ones from here. The sacral chakra, which I mentioned, which I feel boded really well in terms of creativity, fertility, conception of ideas, conception of perhaps even new relationships, even love relationships coming in. Let's see what else we have. Moving on from something, so feeling as though the light is coming and that you are preparing to move into a new door, a new avenue, prospectus, idea, concept, new philosophy, all sorts of different things with that one. Wow, boom. And yet another major arcana. So this makes complete sense to me, in as much that this is your solar eclipse coming up at the end of November, and you have got yourself so many power cards at different levels too, I might add. This one here is, of course, the Strength card, and we've found that we've had strength right up from here when we talked about the solar plexus and regaining inner strength, and we've got the same message again here with this beautiful card. So this is about regaining mental balance as well. So we've got balance, we've got mental balance, we've got inner strength, we've had the destiny card, the overall wheel of fortune that's pulling you all together to head you into this new direction. You had the sacral chakra as well. And remember, for some of you, if this is a block in this area, you may have lacked creativity, you may have lacked fertility, you may have lacked sexual excitement or stimulus as well. So all of these things could be cleared by doing the same type of things as I said earlier with the solar plexus chakra. You've got this beautiful love and soulmate, love, partnership offers coming in as well. So these are all of the main players at the moment in your reading. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, and you had 4 other cards in the background. 3 of which two of which I think have something that you need to focus on and think about yourself, but these 2 bode quite well in terms of positivity and light and feeling loved and connected and safe and secure as well. This can sometimes mean moving areas, moving house, and actually this can sometimes mean moving house as well. So some of you may well have a house shift coming up, either purchasing a new property, going somewhere different in terms of where you live, like a new state or a new country or immigration, which is pretty rare at the moment globally. Some of you may take a new flatmate on, or you may become a new flatmate in another place as well. You may get an extended family